Hey, good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And how about this? In step. Are you in step with God? Are you in step with God? Are you aligned with the Lord in His Word? Are you aligned with Him in the Word? That's what we've been dealing with. That's what we talked about on Sunday in terms of Jeremiah and me, quit your crying. And then we came and dealt with some more of that on yesterday, Monday. Now I want to just continue to drive down that road about us being aligned. We talked about an alignment with respect to your body being aligned, a chiropractor on yesterday. This morning, in step. The text to talk, the takeaway, 5 minutes or less. Let me get the word to you. I need you to share the manna. Do not keep it to yourself. Don't be so greedy. You already know what I'm going to say, especially Manna fam. If it's your first, second, or third time joining us, we want to know who you are. So the whole fam can welcome you to our morning party. And we call it Manna on Morning Manna. So let's get right to it. Here it is. Here's the text. Here's the text. And this is Psalms 119, 133. Psalms 119, 133. You do know that the 119th Psalm is the longest Psalm in the Bible, and it's all lined up with a young man living the life that he's supposed to live. And according to some of the Psalms, the verses in the Psalm, it says, Lord, I'm so thankful that you afflicted me so that I might learn your word. They had to understand and repeat and memorize this Psalm, the Hebrew boys did. Well, let's talk about being in step, that we might be able to get what God has for us. Psalm 119, 133 says this: Direct my footsteps according to your word. Let no sin rule over you. Let no sin rule over you. In other words, Lord, I need to be in step with you. I need to be in step with you so that I won't let any sin rule over me and I can get to the destination that you're trying to take me to. Here's three things that talks about being in step, but let's first give you the context of the text. I remember when I think of this particular verse, I think of when I was in the military, when I was active duty military, wearing the cloth of my country. And I remember you would start out and they will all say, ready, Hodge. You thought it was March. Actually, it was ready, Hodge. Ready, March. Let's go. And you start with your left foot. Why? Because everybody needs to start and be in step. The precision. I love it today. I love watching the military march today. The precision, the preciseness, the clarity of what was being done. Awesome, because they were all what? In step. Now, if you want to defeat the enemy within yourself and outside, you have to be in step with the word. Here's the first thing that I want you to grab a hold of. How can two walk together unless they agree? Come here, Amos, sit down and talk to everybody from the third chapter and the third verse of your book. As you prophesied to the children, you said, look, that's what they were saying. God is saying, keep all of your worship, keep all of your sacrifices. It stinks into my nostrils unless you are walking in step with me. How can two walk together unless they agree? God was saying, look, Israel, you need to come in step with me. The second thing is this: two step is a dance. Two step is a dance. What do you mean by that? Well, there's a two step, and if you're going to be in step, it's like being in a dance with God. You got to know who's leading who. You're not the one leading the dance. God is leading the dance. I remember so well when I was in high school, and the high school young lady that I was dating at the time, she was a debutante. She was a debutante, and therefore she went to the debutante ball. And that meant that I was her date. We had to learn in the cotillion, we had to learn in the whole thing how to waltz. Oh my God. You want to talk about somebody looking like they had two left feet? Me. It was me. Trust and believe I've never been that kind of person that could be out on the floor dancing like that. I gave it my best. Trust me. I didn't step on her dress nor her toes. We made it through. I gave it my best. We were two-stepping. We were two-stepping. Dancing is different from marching. That's the point I want to make. When you're with the Lord, it's a dance. It's not always regiment. It changes. And therefore, you got to then know that God has is the one that has his hand on your waist to lead. He's the one that's leading. How can two walk together unless they agree? It's a dance. It's a two-step dance. Here's the third thing. The third thing is this: Moses, Peter, and Paul. What do you mean by that? All three of them took some time to come in alignment with what God had for them. Moses was a murderer. Moses learned his craft of leadership in Pharaoh's house. That's where he learned it. And he came back and used it in the kingdom. But that's where he learned it. The fact is, it took him a minute, though, to come in alignment with what God had for him. Come and speak to everybody, Peter. Peter was, he was already off, cussing like a sailor. Even after he had come and followed the Lord, it took him a minute before we can get to Acts 2 when he was fully in line, preaching the house down. 2,000 or better getting saved. Paul, totally antithetical to everything that was being taught, going after the church as hard as he could. But when he was knocked off his beast in Acts 9, he then came into alignment. What's your takeaway of this? Your takeaway is this: alignment is a step-by-step process. Alignment is a step-by-step process. So let's take it one day at a time, step by step. Let's be in step so that we can be aligned with God. Share the manna. If it bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. God bless you.